stinky old bedding. I knew how to take responsibility for animals. I had Ferret, after all. I had to look after him myself. It was one of Helena's conditions for me owning him at home. We had also once had an extremely old dog who was prone to accidents. She belonged to all of us, though mainly Father. Anyone who saw a mess on a mosaic had to run and clean it up at once to stop Father becoming miserable because he loved that dog and could not bear her becoming so old and helpless. Uncle Lucius Petronius came to gently help her on her way. I don't know how he did it, because although I wanted to watch, he shut the door. After that, Father buried the dog at our house on the Janiculum Hill, where my dead grandfather and baby brother are. He didn't give her a tombstone, but he told us if he had, it would have said, "Nooks, best and happiest of dogs. Run with joy through all Elysium, dear friend." We all liked to talk about her jumping up on ghosts. I wondered whether they would squeak with spooky surprise if Nooksy came up behind and sniffed them with a cold nose. After I got the boar's cage nice and clean, I asked where to put the sweepings, so Sizen led me to a barrow. I just sensibly picked up the straw on a shovel, loaded the barrow, then wheeled it to the midden heap. Straw is light. It was not onerous. I cheered myself along by an incantation of, "Oh, pig shit, pig shit, pig shit, pig shit," which is a famous saying by my grandfather, Geminus. He must have been jolly. My marching song seemed to impress Hesper and Sizen. The whole job was smelly and dirty. Luckily, I was wearing the old tunic Helena had given me to be Ferret's bed. I had left him asleep in my best tunic instead, which would be nicer for him. He had tried running around all night, exploring, and in the morning he was so dozy he only wanted to stay behind, so that is why I left him in the tent. Jason seemed to be a nocturnal creature too, and Thalia snored, so it had been quite noisy in the tent. But when I left in the morning, Jason was asleep, and I forgot he might pose a danger. At the menagerie, I decided I would make scientific notes about the different kind of droppings that the animals deposited. I explained to Hesper and Sizen how this would need to be done, tomorrow when I brought a note tablet for making descriptions and a ruler for measuring the pieces of poo. I have a surveyor's folding measure that Father once brought home from the auction house because he thought I would like it. This was correct. I use it all the time. I could tell that Hesper and Sizen failed to see the seriousness of my planned experiment. At lunchtime, my mother came along. They tried to hand me back to her, but they had no luck. Announcing that she was glad we were all getting on together so nicely, Thalia went off again, saying she had to have a meeting in her tent with a man called Sotericus, a dealer in exotic animals. The meeting was private. Lysias would have to look after me that afternoon. I was given strict instructions not to go along and interrupt. "I suppose you know what strict instructions means, Posthumus?" I nodded. Strict ones are where it is best to wait a long while before you ignore them, so it will seem better.
To keep listening to this audiobook, I've left you a link in the description so you can do it, at no cost thanks to Audible's 30-day free trial.